So this one is kind of fitting. What did Kanye do when he got dropped by Adidas? Some soul searching. Because of the...
Perfect.
Right, so this was a long time coming. I've spent a whole month with the Adidas Samba. I'm going to list 5 things I do like with the shoe, 5 things I don't like, and then I guess we'll see if this shoe has actually changed my mind. Just because, in case you missed it, I did do a top 5 overrated sneakers at the moment. And yeah, this sneaker did feature. It would have been probably top spot. Before anything though, we are going to treat this as sort of a semi-review / has the Samba changed my mind kind of thing. So the box is pretty standard when it comes to GR Adidas sneakers. A blue one with the white stripes. Nothing special, and considering this is an OG colorway, yeah, that's exactly what you get. Now the product sticker does actually say Samba OG. And yes, as you can see, I went for a UK 9, and that's one of the mistakes I did make. I went for my normal UK 9, which I should have went for a UK 9.5, just because the conversion rate with the American sizing to UK and European sizing, yeah, it's a bit different. So if you are used to other brands and their sizing, just check out the European size, and I'd say base it off that. Now looking at this shoe as a whole, it's very clean, it's very simple, and yeah, I guess you can style it pretty easily. And that's, I guess, why the OG colorway is so damn popular. The things I do actually like about this shoe, the suede panels around the toe box, and yeah, I guess the leather's half decent too. Now, if you're not familiar with the Adidas Samba, just like me, these were actually inspired by football or soccer. It's got that sporty look to it, very similar to the Gazelles and the handball Specials. Could get away with calling these cousins because they're so similar. Now we've got that flimsy thin leather tongue, which yeah, I'll talk about that later. Now the laces do feel premium. They're sort of thick with that soft cotton feel. Now it is a very low cut shoe. I like low sneakers, but these do take the biscuit. Not the most padding around the ankle collar, especially on the inside of the shoe. And the sock liner does have that white leather. Now again, resembling a football boot. Towards the back, we've got that black leather, which does round off the shoe pretty nicely. Now the midsole is all rubber and it does blend into the outsole, so all of that is literally rubber. But in terms of color, I do actually like it. It's that sort of retro vibe with the brown. You know, with all these lights, this studio just, it's like a sauna without the happy endings. So as my collection and my channel suggests, I am a Nike fanboy. I've not hidden it. I am more drawn to Air Max sneakers just because I grew up on them, and yeah, I have that sort of nostalgia towards certain colorways, certain shoes. Now don't get me wrong, I've had Adidas sneakers in the past, you know, the Superstars and the Nizzas as well. I absolutely love them. Those 2 sneakers in particular saved my life in college because they got me through. Without those 2, yeah, I don't know what I would have been wearing. So although I'm not really a fan of Adidas sneakers in general, yes, I love the football kits. I love some of their clothing too. I've never really taken to the classics like the Sambas, like the Gazelles, the Specials, and so on. Anyways, broskis, let's hold our horses. I'm going to list the 5 things I actually do like. Yes, there's 5 things. Who would have thought? Now, the first thing I do like about this shoe is the shape. Surprisingly enough, I'm not trying to spoil it too much, but this is also a bad thing with the shoe too. But in terms of certain angles, like the top down, they actually look good. They've got that smart, sleek look to it, and you can dress them up without any worries. That's definitely one of the strengths about this shoe. You can wear these on smart, casual occasions and definitely pull it off. Now at number 2, I never thought I'd say this just because of how the shoe looks, and yeah, it doesn't look like the most comfiest, but the comfort is pretty damn good. No, it's not on a level of an Adidas Boost or a Yeezy sneaker in terms of comfort. Nowhere near. And these might be a nightmare in terms of wearing these for hours on end. I can't really comment on that just because I haven't risked it yet for a biscuit. But when it comes to the comfort, I'm leaning more towards the firmer side. And that's kind of what you want sometimes. Some cushioning systems, especially from Adidas, like the Boost, for me, they've always been a bit too soft. Now, the third thing I do like is very much biased to me just because I'm a big football fan. And knowing this shoe draws inspiration from football, yeah, I've got to like that. Now, number 4, this is sort of a cop out, but I mean, you have to include it. it's the price. Adidas has always been pretty fair when it comes to pricing. And I'm not talking about Yeezys. I'm just talking about your standard Adidas release. The retail price for these in the UK is about 90 quid. And yeah, I guess for what you're getting, an OG silhouette, and even if you can get these on sale, you're a Samba fan or Adidas fan, yeah, you're laughing. Some of the brands we do love are double the price, even more. And to be fair, for less quality, which leads me on to my next point. Surprisingly, for a GR sneaker of this price point, the quality of the materials, yeah, I've got to admit it, they're pretty good. Everything from the suede around the toe box, the leather on this shoe, and even the cut of it. Also, the QC, there's no excess glue to worry about or panels sort of fraying or flapping off. I have to give Adidas props to the materials and the QC, especially for the price point. So that's 5 things I do like about this shoe. But what are the 5 things I don't like about the Adidas Samba? So the first thing about this shoe is how flat it is. Now, yes, I did mention I like how these looked from the top down in terms of shape, but overall, I just don't like how flat the shoe is. I mean, even other sneakers like the Jordan 1 Low or the Jordan 1 High even. Yes, they may have the same low profile or the same sort of cut, but they've still got a little bit of lift. And that's one of the reasons I really don't like how the Sambas look on foot. Yes, I can appreciate it, but I mean, from what I like from a shoe in terms of the profile or the cut of it, it just doesn't tick that box. Now, one of the things I did like was the inspiration behind it being a football shoe, and that's one of the things I don't actually like. I say that because of the tongue. I don't like how the tongue looks on foot and how it feels as well. Yeah, I guess once you've worn them enough, you don't really notice it and you don't really feel it because they're broken in. For me though, when it comes to tongues, I like a bit more padding just because of the comfort, and yeah, these don't have it. Now the next thing isn't really the Samba's fault technically, just because when a shoe's so popular, there's so many colorways to choose from, there's so many collaborations as well, but for me they all look the same. So that's the third thing I don't like. And yeah, you could call it reaching or exaggerating, but I mean, they don't really stand out. Maybe it's the fact that I don't really care, or I haven't looked hard enough to know the difference. And you could say this about a lot of shoes, so it's not just the Samba, but yeah, that's just something I found. Okay, so the fourth thing I don't like about this shoe, it's a bit of a weird one, but I find them so boring. And I know you could say that about a lot of sneakers in certain colorways, but at the same time, for me, 9 times out of 10, I like a bit of a loud shoe. And again, maybe it's the fact that I haven't looked hard enough or cared enough to find a colorway that tickles my pickle. But still, every Samba that I have seen hasn't really done much for me. Now the last point, and probably the biggest point to me anyway, is there's so many people wearing these, it actually puts you off. Now for me, I am a type of guy, even if a shoe's popular, I'll try and wait for it to die down a little and then I'll start wearing it. But with the whole resurgence to the Samba, it just puts me off. That's 5 things I do like about this shoe and 5 things that I don't like. And I guess the 5 things I don't like could be nitpicking, but those are the things I picked up on. Yes, it's personal preference. Yes, other people aren't going to agree. Some people might, who knows? But could I recommend the Adidas Samba? I guess I could, but at the same time, would I wear them? Nah, I don't think I would. Just because at this point in my life, I kind of need all day comfort. Like if I'm stepping out the house for hours on end, I need a shoe from my collection that has got me all day long with the comfort and cushioning. And if there was another point to something I didn't like, it would be the lack of support for flat feet. Now my foot isn't completely flat, but I mean, it's not got the best arch in the world. So yeah, I definitely felt these on foot. And that does lead to my point in terms of these being a shoe you can't really rely on all day for comfort. If you're an Adidas fan, and if you haven't got the Samba, if there's anyone left that fits that bill, the Adidas Samba's all right, you know? I didn't think I'd actually ever say those words. The shoe hasn't swayed me enough for me to want to wear them. But on the plus side, I don't hate the shoe anymore. So we made some progress. So that's it, broskies. That's 5 things I do like about this shoe. And yeah, I guess now there's 6 things I don't like. And this was the first time I ever got my hands on the Samba in person for my own feet. I'm just glad to see what all the hype and the fuss was about with the Samba. But comment down below what you think about the Adidas Samba. Are you a fan, or is this still an absolute miss? And whilst you're there, let me know if there's any other sneakers you want me to try out that I haven't got on the channel just yet. Right, broskies, like the legend that I am, I actually forgot to do comment of the day from my last video in this video, so I'm going to do that now. This comment was very touching, so I had to give this one a shout out. And it's from the broski Samsicles_Jr. He says, love your content and sneakers, but mostly wanted to comment to praise your work rate. Multiple vids and a stream lately. As someone making videos, totally different subject matter. I know it's time consuming and for me slow, but you're a pro. Anyway, inspired. Will hustle tomorrow and get mine done. Salute from Brixton, South London. Keep the jokes coming. Bro, first of all, big up to you. Thank you so much for that comment. It does mean a lot to me, but I know exactly how it is. When you feel a bit uninspired and things aren't going your way at the start, especially, yeah, you feel like quitting. You don't feel like getting on with it, but trust me, it does work out in the end. Keep plugging away, keep hustling. And that goes out to everyone, of course, whether it is making content, studying, or working and grinding. Keep it up, broski, and everyone else. Anyways, let's close out this video how it was meant to. And don't forget to do all of that other good stuff. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and yes, until the next episode, take care.